everyone. Today our topic for discussion is fundamental rights. So dear students, as we know that the fundamental rights are mentioned in part 3rd of the Indian Constitution. The fundamental rights concept, it was borrowed from US Constitution. In US it is known as Bill of Rights. As we know that these fundamental rights, they are most criticized part of the Indian Constitution according to B.R. Ambedkar. The fundamental rights they are justifiable in nature. For their violation, Supreme Court, Apex Court is responsible for the enforcement of fundamental rights. They are justifiable in nature, and these fundamental rights they are prepared by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Committee. So in the original constitution, there was a group of 7 fundamental rights. But in 1978, due to 44th Constitutional Amendment Act, right to property, it was deleted from the list of fundamental rights. Now we have only 6 fundamental rights. In my earlier videos, we have already discussed first, second, and third fundamental right. So dear students, today आज हम पहले डिस्कस करेंगे कहां से right to freedom of religion. Fourth fundamental right आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे right to freedom of religion. So far the right to freedom of religion is concerned, we see that the right to freedom of religion, we see that it mentioned in Indian Constitution is the third fundamental it's the fourth fundamental right. Under Article 25 to 28, right to freedom of religion is guaranteed to all Indians by the Constitution under Article 25 to 28. So far the Article 25 is concerned, we see that Article 25 talks about that all persons are equally entitled to freedom of conscience, freedom of we see that practice and propagate religion to all citizens. We see that Article 25 talks about the freedom of conscience, freedom of practice and propagate religion. Clear? But so dear students, kindly note that propagation does not include forced conversion. So forced conversions are not allowed. Clear? So Article 25 talks about that all the citizens of India, they are free to propagate, profess and practice any religion. Clear? So we see that, but forced conversions are not allowed. So far the Article 26 is concerned, we see that the Article 26, right to freedom of religion, from Article 25 to 28. So far now the Article 26, we see that the Article 26 talks about the freedom to manage religious affairs. There is a freedom to manage religious affairs, to establish and maintain institutions for religion and charitable purpose, religious and charitable purposes. Clear? Article 26 talks about that freedom to manage religious affairs. So far the Article 27 is concerned, we see that the Article 27 talks about the freedom for taxation, for promotion of a religion, It means that no person shall be compelled to pay tax for the practice, for the promotion and maintenance of any religion, Article 26, it talks about freedom to manage religious affairs. So far Article 27 is concerned, it talks about freedom for taxation, for the promotion of a religion, So we see that no person shall be compelled to pay tax for the promotion as well as practice of any religion, Clear? So far the Article 28 is concerned, we see that the Article 28, it talks about that the freedom from attending religious instructions. No religious instruction, but kindly note that no religious instruction shall be provided in any educational institution, wholly maintained out of state funds. So Article 28, it talks about what? Freedom from attending religious instructions. Clear? Instructions. Now, this was all about right to freedom of religion. Now, the 5th fundamental right is the cultural and educational rights, from Article 29 to 30. So far the Article 29 is concerned, we see that Article 29, it talks about right to conserve language, script or culture. Right to conserve language, script or culture. So Article 29, it guarantees, it grants protection to both religion as well as religious and linguistic minorities. Article 29, we see that it grants protection to both religious and linguistic minorities in India. Clear? Now the Article 30. So far the Article 30 is concerned, we see that Article 30 talks about the right of minorities. There is a right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. All the minorities, they have a right to establish and administer educational institutions of their choice. So, right, Article 30, it talks about right of minority to establish and administer educational institutions. Clear? Now the sixth fundamental right to constitutional remedies, Article 32. So far the right to constitutional remedies is concerned, we see that according to B.R. Ambedkar, the Article 32 is the heart and soul of the Constitution. The heart and soul of the Constitution, soul of the Indian Constitution. So Article 32 is the soul and heart of the Indian Constitution according to B.R. Ambedkar. We see that this Article 32, it allows the Indian citizens to move to their country's apex court. Country's apex court means the Supreme Court of India in case of violation of fundamental rights. So Supreme Court is responsible for the enforcement of fundamental rights, for their violation. So Supreme Court, as we know that the defender, protector and guarantor of fundamental rights of the citizens, we see that under Article 32, Supreme Court can issue guidelines, writs, issue orders, guidelines and writs, clear? In the nature of, can issue orders, directions. So under Article 226, high courts of the country, they can issue orders, directions, writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights, So Supreme Court can issue writs in the nature of in the nature of habeas corpus. 5 writs can be issued by Supreme Court. First is the habeas corpus. So habeas corpus, it literally means to have the body. Second is the certiorari. So far the second writ can be issued by Supreme Court. Certiorari means to be certified or informed. Or third, we see that 5 writs can be. First is the habeas corpus, second is certiorari, third is the mandamus. Mandamus literally means we command. And fourth is the quo warranto. Clear? Quo warranto. And fifth is the prohibition. Though we see that these 5 writs can be issued by Supreme Court as well as High Court can issue for the protection of the fundamental rights, for their violation. Clear? So citizens, they can move to Supreme Court. Citizens of India can move to Supreme Court as well, under Article Supreme Court and High Courts for the violation of their fundamental rights. So Supreme Court, the guardian of the Constitution, clear? They can issue writs. Clear? In the nature of 5 writs, clear? Habeas corpus, certiorari, mandamus, quo warranto, prohibition, clear? For the protection of fundamental rights of the citizens. So dear students, this was all about fundamental rights. We have completed the fundamentals in mind. 3 हमने आज के लिए 3 lectures, first lecture second and lecture third बेस में complete किया हमने fundamental rights chapter को. So dear students, वीडियो को देखने के साथ साथ चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना ना भूलें.